Hello and welcome to SFA Now. Today we'll tell you about a sorority and fraternity teaming up for a festive charity event, a program spreading awareness of driving under the influence, an up-close look at the Nacogdoches Veterans Day Parade, and we sit down with the Pine Log's opinions editor, John Cleveland, before we take a look at some of the interesting critters you may encounter in the forest. Stay tuned. Welcome back to SFA Now. I'm Amelia Morris. Drunk driving is a frightening and sometimes overlooked factor in a college student's weekend, and a few groups at SFA are trying to promote awareness of this dangerous behavior. For the past few years, the students of Stephen F. Austin have dealt with many tragedies involving drunk driving. According to recent statistics from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MADD for short, a person is injured in a drunk driving accident almost every 90 seconds. It has also been estimated that 1 in 3 people will be involved in a drunk driving crash in their lifetime. SFA has seen many of these statistics come true, but the organizations on campus have teamed together to try and raise awareness of the effects of drunk driving under the influence. The Alpha Chi Omega sorority, Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity, and Driving Jacks, an organization that gives rides to intoxicated students, hosted a program called Haley's Story, which tells us how one family has felt the effects of drunk driving under the influence. Stay tuned with us after the break for more on this story. For anyone looking for a safe ride home on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, call Driving Jacks at 936-652-6600. Our East Texas hideout here in Nacogdoches is jam-packed full of historical landmarks and interesting history. But a piece of history you might not know about sits right on Mound Street, just down the road from Downtown Square. Nacogdoches is one of the oldest towns in Texas, and there are historical treasures around every corner just waiting to be found. The old Nacogdoches University building is one of those hidden gems. The building was constructed in 1859, the House Nacogdoches University. When the building opened in the fall of 1859, 82 men and women were enrolled. They were taught in 2 separate classrooms located on the first floor of the building and were expected to wear Sunday's best to every class. The building is now a museum displaying many of the original items and artifacts of the time period. In 1861, as the Civil War broke out, the university was converted into a hospital for Confederate soldiers. It became an official museum in 1960, displaying all kinds of artifacts from the 19th century school, the Civil War hospital, and the original rooms of the university. Today, the building is recognized as a local, state, and national treasure. It is open for tours Tuesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. For more information, contact the old university building at 936-569-7292. SFA's Greek system is once again aiding in philanthropy efforts as the fraternity Sigma Alpha Mu, or SAMI, and the sorority Delta Zeta teamed up to provide family fun while raising money for the Turtle Camp and the Alzheimer's Association. It was perfect weather for hopping around a bounce house, tossing beanbags, and some good old fishing at Pecan Park this weekend. On Sunday, November 10th, Delta Zeta and Sigma Alpha Mu provided a wide variety of fun-packed activities at the first annual Fall Festival, which took place at Pecan Park. The sorority and fraternity linked up and invited Nacogdoches friends and families out to have a blast by hanging outdoors and enjoying carnival-like games, food, and activities such as arts and crafts, face painting, and pie tossing. Although the event was centered around fun, the Fall Festival's main object was to raise money and awareness. All the proceeds from the Fall Festival went to Sigma Alpha Mu's national philanthropy organization, the Judy Fund, as part of the Alzheimer's Association, and Delta Zeta's philanthropy organization, Turtle Camp. It's that time of year again where the leaves are turning, the days are shorter, and the campus of Stephen F. Austin is being toured by hundreds of potential students who are looking to call SFA home. Saturday, November 16th will be the first of 3 Showcase Saturdays. the admissions department puts on these days to give potential students a chance to look great at the SFA campus. Upon their arrival, the showcase Saturday, the hopeful students and their parents will get welcomed to Lumberjack Country by our campus tour guides, who will give you a detailed look at Stephen F. Austin campus and many of its exciting features. The day will also be filled with different sessions that will allow the students and parents the chance to ask any questions they can think of. The staff in the admissions department is working hard to prepare for this day by organizing the group tours as well as a number of events across campus. The academic fair and the rec center gives the incoming freshmen a chance to talk to people from more than 80 different majors of study on campus. This showcase will be the only one major one on campus this semester, but there will be 2 more showcases in the spring semester. For more information, you can contact the SFA Office of Admissions at 936-468-2504. Also, if you know of any interesting events going on that you think could be newsworthy, please make sure to post it on our wall and share with us. Stay with us after the break to learn how an SFA professor is leading the way in a women's religious movement and an in-depth look at how one girl's death influenced the lives of thousands of students around Texas. Welcome back to SFA Now. I'm Amelia Morris. Driving under the influence is a major problem on campuses across the U.S., but here at SFA, the story of one girl has inspired people to make a change. Earlier, we shared some information about Haley's Story, a program spreading the word about driving under the influence. Here is Michelle Davis with the full scoop on Haley's story.
Haley Nowak was a student at Texas State University who was killed in a drunk driving accident on July 1, 2012. Her mother, Kimberly Nowak, travels to university sharing Haley's story and plans to start a safe ride program like Driving Jacks at Texas State. Alpha Chi Omega, Tau Kappa Epsilon, and Driving Jacks hosted an event on Friday, November 8th at 6 p.m. in the Kennedy Auditorium to hear Haley's story. Kimberly Nowak started the Haley E. Nowak Foundation after Haley's death to promote awareness about drinking and driving. She is also striving to make a safe ride program in the San Marcos and Austin area. The foundation will also be granting scholarships to high school students that will be awarded to the best responses based on alcohol use and social decision making.
I really would want you to know Haley, because as I look around this room and as I've been to other college campuses, you all look so familiar to me. Not because I know you, but because you look just like her and just like her friends.
They are hoping to have their Safe Ride program within the next few months. The organizations involved gave her a donation to get started.
I hope all of you took a little bit away from this, and on behalf of Alpha Chi Omega, Driving Jacks, and Tau Kappa Epsilon, I would like to present a check to the Haley E. Nowak Foundation for $1,000. So here you go.
I'm Michelle Davis reporting for SFA Now.
An SFA professor from the Department of Education has joined a Mormon movement where women within the religion are pushing for gender equality. Here is Justin Booker with the story.
Heather Olson-Beal, Assistant Professor of Education at Stephen F. Austin State University, has recently joined a movement known as the Ordained Women to incite some change in the Church of Latter-day Saints. When asked what the movement hopes to achieve, this is what she says.
Looking for women in the Mormon Church to be ordained to what we call the priesthood.
This movement is not just a national movement, but has branched out internationally.
I think it's a bigger issue than just the Mormon Church. There's still a lot of religions where women don't have equal voice or women can't be ordained. So I kind of feel like, well, it's not just us, it's a bigger issue. And I've actually had several people in the community reach out to me that are from other religions that have said, hey, this is really interesting, I'm glad that you're doing this.
There is hope for more than just change in the LDS Church as well. On October 5th, 2013, Professor Beal joined 2 other women at the LDS conference in Salt Lake City, Utah, to try to attend the priesthood session, a male-only session. Though they were not allowed to enter, she still felt like something had been achieved.
Get in. We were told that we weren't going to get in, so I wasn't surprised by that. I think a lot of people felt really surprised by how hurtful it felt to actually be told you cannot come here. no matter how much you have invested or how much of your life, whatever you invested in the Mormon church, you can't come in because you're male. I felt like that a little bit, but for the most part, I felt really strong, and I felt really energized by all the women that were there, and I felt like we were, united around a cause. There were some people there that I'd only met previously, online. So for me, it was really exciting and cool. I guess it was very exciting, even though we were rejected ultimately.
Reporting live from SFA Now, this is Justin Booker.
If you would like to know more information about the movement, visit www.ordainedwomen.org. In honor of Veterans Day this past week, a parade was hosted in downtown Nacogdoches honoring those who have put their lives on the line for our freedom. Kaylee Holdage has the story.
Last Saturday, Nacogdoches County Sheriff's Office held its annual Veterans Day parade. Veterans were among those who participated in the parade, as well as onlookers. Local veteran Donald Snyder told SFA Now his favorite part of the parade. The Grand Marshal for the parade was James Buck Lee, who proudly served his country in the United States Marine Corps. The entire community came out to support these hometown heroes, including the Patriot Guard, local politicians, Nacogdoches Police Department, as well as the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts of Nacogdoches. The parade followed the traditional route through the downtown area along Hospital and Main Streets. Citizens lined the sidewalks, waving flags and showing their appreciation. As a veteran, Snyder recalls his favorite part of Veterans Day. Rounding out the parade was the Nacogdoches High School Marching Band. Directly after the parade, Hotel Fredonia offered a special luncheon for veterans and their guests. Thanks to the community, the parade was a success in honoring local veterans, but veterans around the United States. Reporting for SFA Now, this is Kaylee Holdage.
Stay tuned after the break because we will have John Cleveland, the Pine Log's opinion editor, to discuss this week's issue after the break. And remember, like our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/SFA Now. And if you have any stories you would like to see here, post it on our wall and maybe you'll see it soon.